Wow, some days it's tougher than others. That's all I gotta say. It's time to take a break with Drake. That break should have started 5 minutes ago. But here we are, together, in the land of Drake. America's Bible teacher. Phew! Gotten a new setup here.
Hey, Dan's been coming back. He says, "Is there no show today?" I told him, and he says, "Okay, see you when you're on."
Man, I'm telling you.
Dan, give us a quick note. Are we on?
I'm going to check too,
I can't
Drake.
see the
I'm
screen.
checking. And I think you are a little blurry, so I'm going to come up and fix your camera.
Oh, okay. We are on stage live at the Plaza Theater, Waitsburg, Washington. You haven't heard of this, and you haven't heard about the child star that was in here. Adam West did his childhood performances here and in the local elementary school when he was a child. Adam West. The younger people under 60 don't know who Adam West is. Adam West was the first Batman in Hollywood. He went from this theater in this town and doing these childhood performances, I would presume Christmas programs in churches. He went to Hollywood and they created the Batman legend, obviously, and then he was the first Batman. And you know, when Batman is covered from this much up and all you see is that. I never knew who the Batmans were growing up, but...
you weren't supposed to.
Yeah, you got to keep them. It's just like Zorro. As long as I keep this mask on, you are safe. Once I take it off, they would realize, oh, you're just the dude in this town here. You can do something heroic. And don't let peers keep you down. So, that mask. Are we going connected?
Yeah, we're good.
Hooray!
I mean, I'm gonna come double check that camera, but I'm gonna get the Corinthians up and all the things, all the words.
Yes. Another change we had 2 hours ago. I got a zippity doodah note from the East Coast. We had a guest all set this morning, and he is. I can't drop a name yet.
Yeah, because we want to be sure before we say anything.
This is exciting. Should pull it off next week. As you know, we don't have some whopping budget to work with, you know. I mean, I was just blown away when I heard that Johnny Carson, I'm in junior high, 45 years ago, 48 years ago, 46 years ago. I'm in junior high, and Johnny Carson is being paid $60,000 an episode. That would buy 3 homes in the town I was in every day. These shows have budgets. Oh my goodness, if they got budgets. That's why they can do so much zinger stuff. We don't have some whopper budget. It's just us, and we're having a grand old time. Are we focused, good dear?
I think so, but you weren't terribly out of focus.
Okay. I don't know. It's good to be in focus. So we had to scramble shuffle here the last couple hours. It was not even light in our town when I thought, reschedule, and so we're doing this. We've going through Corinthians.
Hey, Sally. Good morning.
Hi, Sally. Sorry about the delay here. Hello, Dan. Who else, love? Say hello to people.
Oh, I will.
I don't have the screen, so
that's my job. I'm the hello lady.
My trusty producer wife is dealing with stuff. New format here. I don't have a screen next to me. I'm on stage, and go. So, going through Corinthians, we reached 1 Corinthians 15. The whole issue is the resurrection, and Paul explains the resurrection there far more than Matthew or Mark do.
Luke is so comprehensive.
Yeah.
Good morning, Aaron.
Luke has a longer rendition than Matthew and Mark. It's amazing. The most famous rendition is Jesus' Great Commission. That's in Matthew, but it's just a couple of columns. The whole resurrection story is very briefly done in Matthew and in Mark and in Luke. So we're going to go through the Luke. 1 Corinthians 15, the resurrection is the whole chapter. And Paul's talking about this resurrection 25 or so years after it happened, Paul met Jesus on the road to Damascus, and it was more of an audio interaction than seeing him and touching him and hugging him and seeing the nails in his hand. We don't have any record of that. We have Paul just talking to him. He's giving this resurrection story 25 years after it happened. Matthew, Mark, and Luke are giving more of, and John are giving more of a straight-on report that is just out. We don't have Luke. We have Luke researched this. Luke wasn't there. To all of our records, Luke wasn't there. He just talked to everybody. A tremendous researcher. And Luke is a historian par excellence. There is not a better historian,
smarty pants,
than Luke in history. His rendition of Luke, and he wrote Acts. It's phenomenal. His story of Jesus' childhood up to 40 years after Jesus left in the book of Acts. So it's really amazing. So
good morning, Angela and Lindsay and Elisa.
You beautiful people.
Stephen Cornell.
Stephen, oh, bless you, brother. Man, oh man. When can we come and see you? Are you in New York? Are you in the Finger Lakes, New York? Last I heard, Finger Lakes, New York, Oneida or something like that. Stephen, you rock. There's even a chapter.
He says Paul the Pharisee, by the way, Drake. He thought Paul was pretty.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. So we're doing the backstory to 1 Corinthians 15, which is the resurrection story in Matthew 28, Mark 16, Luke 24, and John 20, 21.
I can throw that little image up again.
Yeah,
there.
if you could just throw that up and let people peek at that. In fact, put that up for the next couple of minutes, honey, if it's
sure,
easy
babe.
to find. On the first day, Luke 24, on the first day of the week, very early in the morning, the sun is not up yet. On the first day of the week, we would call it Sunday, because Jesus rose from the dead on a Sunday morning at 6 a.m., we commemorate and gather and worship traditionally worldwide on Sunday. Now, I know the Seventh-day Adventists make a big hoot-hoo about, the Sabbath is Saturday. It is.
And
the Jewish.
And yes, exactly. I was going to say.
And the Jewish people meet on Saturday. That's when they have temple and synagogue. And you got to experience Sabbath in Jerusalem someday. I'll go with you and explain everything to you if you want me to. But Sabbath starts Friday at sundown. The Sabbath starts on Friday, and it goes through sundown on Saturday. Genesis 1, and it was evening, and it was morning, the first day. I thought it was dawn and then dusk, the first day. The Jews think evening and then morning. So their Sabbath starts on Friday night, goes through Saturday night, because the Sabbath is Saturday. But here they are going to the tomb on the first day of the week. Early in the morning, the women took the spices they had prepared and went to the tomb. Matthew talks about the tomb being sealed. And when they get there, the angel's sitting on the stone. Mark doesn't talk about the tomb being sealed. Luke doesn't talk about the tomb being sealed. These ladies are taking spices to the tomb. And though Mark and Luke don't talk about the tomb being sealed, it is sealed. Ladies are taking spices, and we said before, they were saying, how are we going to roll the stone away? It's so heavy. I said that yesterday in Mark. They're taking spices to anoint Jesus to a sealed tomb that they can't get in. You don't have any report of a male, taking spices to the tomb, because they would go, wait a minute, the tomb is sealed, we can't get in there, we can't anoint him, we can't see him, we can't touch him, we can't get near him, there's guards, why take spices? A man's logic would go, taking spices is stupid. Ladies are taking spices to a sealed tomb that they can't. This is a faith move. These ladies, we've been saying this for the last 2 days, these ladies are going and they see angels, they see the stone rolled away, they run and go tell the guys, and the guys go, really? Even after they get testimony from eyewitnesses that Jesus is raised from the dead, they still don't believe it. Ladies are taking spices to the tomb to anoint a body that they can't get to. This is faith, baby. And ladies deal with spices all the time. They've got to get food ready for the children and for their families.
Well, these are different spices. I don't think these are spices that you would, necessarily eat.
Oh, it was clove and cardamom and cinnamon and.
Is it your cake spice, Drake?
Yeah, it's my favorite cake spice.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Drake puts cake spice in everything.
Oh, I do, especially on steak.
No, he puts it in his smoothies, and I'm like, it just gets to be a little bit too much cake spice.
They found the stone rolled away from the tomb, but when they entered, they did not find the body. It wasn't there. So we have the angel sitting on the stone in Matthew. We have a man sitting inside on the right in Mark. I explained that yesterday. If he was on the left, they would have seen him and not, what's going on? Here it says, and they enter the tomb. Where's the body? While they were wondering about this, they're inside the tomb. Suddenly 2 men in clothes that gleamed like lightning stood beside them. Mark talks about 1. Luke talks about 2. There were 2. Mark just focuses on the 1. And that 1, it was Chris Hemsworth.
Chris and Liam? Is that what you're saying?
Chris and Liam Hemsworth. It was the Hemsworth brothers.
They could totally play those guys, I'm sure.
It's in the original Ugaritic. It really is.
Is it? Oh, I thought you were going to say it was in the American Standard Revised version.
Yeah, well, it's in the Australian Standard Revised version.
The Arctic Revised
so
version.
So it's 2, and scoffers go see contradictions. They say 1, they say 2. There were 2. He focused on 1. He focused on both of them. That's the way things go. And their clothes were like lightning. In their fright, the women bowed down with their faces to the ground, but the men said, "Why do you look for the living among the dead?"
Well, why didn't you say so?
I love this question.
It's kind of like, oh my goodness, you can hear the sarcasm. But maybe
well,
it wasn't
it's sarcasm. It's just like, good point. Good point. Jesus said, "I'm going to rise. In 3 days, I'm going to rise." And he asks this to the ladies. It's a cool question. It's sort of like if a woman wants to have a daycare center. Oh, I just love children. I want to open a daycare center. And her aunt dies. And so she goes to the mortuary and she gets asked, you want to open a daycare center. What are you doing at a mortuary?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a goofball question.
Yeah.
Another thing that struck me as I'm doing this, and this struck me years ago, but it redistilled in my thinking this morning. Jesus died at 3 p.m. on Friday. Jesus rose at 6 a.m. on Sunday. That was 9 hours of Friday, he was gone. Was 24 hours of Saturday, he was gone. He's in the underworld. Check Peter. He's gone for 6 hours of Sunday. Do the math. He is gone for 39 hours. How many whip stripes did he receive? 39. Ooh.
39. Wow.
And, no female ever surpasses the age of 39.
No.
This is good stuff here. Why do you look for the living among the dead? He's not here. He has risen. Remember how he told you while he was still with you in Galilee, the Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men, be crucified, and on the third day be raised again. Into the hands of sinful men. I looked that up in the Geek this morning.
In the Geek or the Greek?
Yes. And hands of sinful men. They use the word cher. What is a chiropractor? The hand doctor is a chiropractor. Care. They use the same word. Into the hands of, they put their hands on Jesus, punching him, ripping his beard out, whacking him in the face, putting a rag over his head, and they continue punching him in the skull. And then take rods and beat him. Then they shove this crown. You can't even touch this crown of thorns.
Yeah, they're pretty.
This crown of thorns was so vicious, and I've seen these thorns. You could take a thorn and then take a skeleton and push a thorn into a bone. It'll go right through the bone.
Owie.
The thorn won't break. The hands of sinful men. Sinful men is, I hate it when pastors do this, but I'm going to do it. Anthropon hamarton.
You mean like going overly into the original
It's the
language?
genitive case. It means it's the possessive case. Sin owns these men and directs their hands.
What was the Greek again?
Genitive case. Anthropos, but the OWN is the ending now. Anthropon hamarton. And the case and the modifier both match to say that the sin in these men's lives possesses them. They can't even unhook from this.
Do not get that phrase on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah, don't. Into the hands of sinful men be raised on the third day. But, you know, then, now after the angel said this to, then they remembered his words.
Ah. Ding.
They knew, but it was lost in their memory. The ladies were so grief-stricken. The ladies had a deeper sense of grief because they're at the cross watching their Lord die. The men had ran because they were going to get put on the cross right behind him. The men ran. You would have run too. I would have run. John kind of watched from a distance. Peter watched way out of sight. He's like a sniper. I can see you, but you can't see me. That was Peter's stature. These ladies, then they remembered. You don't let yourself forget how traumatizing these last 3 days have been. In Mark, it says they're going to go to see the tomb. See the tomb. There's nothing else to do. It's not going to change anything, but let's just go look at the rock as the last thing. We saw Jesus, we wrapped him, disappeared, and the stone overtook. Let's at least go look at the stone. The stone is rolled away. He's not there. Angels appear. Matthew talks about an earthquake. This is overload. You can't keep a clear path of thinking in this. Then the angels say it, then they remembered. When they came back from the tomb, they told all these things to the 11 and to all the others. Now, Luke just starts out and says it was the women. He doesn't list their names. Matthew and Mark list the names of the women right away. A few of them. It's not a comprehensive roll call. Because Luke's writing to the Greek world, not going to go, oh yeah, those ladies.
Right. They're not going to know.
But all the people in Jerusalem and other Jews, oh yeah, Mary. It's like Elizabeth in England. Or like Muhammad in the Middle East. We were in the Middle East last winter.
We know each one just by the inflection.
And every third guy is named Muhammad. Or if like 40% of the males in the Arab world are named Muhammad. It's like John in America.
Yeah.
So anyhow. So he goes and tells them and tells this to the others, but they did not believe the women. Their words seemed to them like nonsense. Jesus told these guys too. They heard it, but they didn't want to listen. No, Jesus, you're not going to die. And a couple of disciples supposed to, Peter said, no, you're not going to die. No, you're not going to be crucified. You're not going to be, no. That's not the way it's going to go. You're going to finish David's job from 1000 BC. Peter didn't want to listen. That's why they forgot. You ever tell chores to a child? And here's a couple things I want you to do by the time I get back here. They don't want to listen.
That does happen.
I heard one mother say, I could list the chores for my children and they just can hear it. I can whisper the word ice cream 100 yards away and here comes the wild buffalo stampede. We hear what we want to hear.
That's right.
Do we not? It says, then the ladies remembered. Peter, however, got up and ran to the tomb. Luke talks about Peter running to the tomb. Why does John talk about Peter and John running to the tomb? Because they both took off together, and John ran faster than Peter, so he got that first. Boys, these are boys. We're going to talk about John next time. Bending over, he saw the strips of linen lying by themselves in the tomb, and he went away wondering to himself, what has happened? What has happened? I like the way we get story after story after story about the buffoonery of these 12 men. That should give us hope. Everybody feels like, well, I'm just a bungler. When am I going to ever get it together? When am I going to ever get it right? I don't know. These disciples, they're with Jesus, and they're botching all over the place.
We got about 3 minutes to go, Drake,
Yep.
just so you know.
Well, I'm going to go 5 minutes over, so that it's a half hour length.
Okay. Good to know.
Peter's wondering. Peter, you're wondering. You were told exactly what's going to happen, and it happened just like you were told. Now you're seeing it live, and you're still scratching your head. When you have the answer and you're still looking for the question, oh boy, after Pentecost? Then contrast these guys. And it's the same way for us. Once the Spirit fills us and we totally surrender to every working and deed of the hand and voice and Spirit of God, miracles take over our lives. I've had the Spirit come over me in a crowded room in Ukraine, and they asked for some healing, and dozens came to the front. Lame people, deaf people, heart patients. There was a blind kid in the room. On and on it goes. Arthritis. I mean, knurled oak balls of fingers. Everybody got healed. And the last thing...
Except for the blind kid.
Yeah, the blind kid left because his mother didn't want him to get healed because she used him to beg in the town square. So she didn't want him healed. I thought, that is sad. Don't run away from Jesus. But the Spirit was moving, and listen to that. Before the Spirit moved, I felt like a bungling ding-dong. This is the Spirit that God wants to run over us. After this, we have the road to Emmaus. That is a verse in Mark, a verse. And Jesus met two in the country and appeared to them. And then they went back and told the others. The whole story, the road to Emmaus, I love this road to Emmaus in Luke. Oh, I love this road to Emmaus story in Luke. Luke's rendition of Jesus appearing to the two on the road to Emmaus, and they were together for hours. Hours is longer than Matthew's entire rendition. We had a light.
Yeah, you best have a light just went out.
Can
Here,
somebody?
I'll bring you a light.
Can you still see?
It's pretty dark. I'm going to bring it to you.
Okay, the lights have dimmed. All kinds of technical. This is why staff, when we were filming our show on DirecTV 4 years ago, there were 33 people in the room doing stuff. It was, this stuff takes a lot of hands. Anyhow, so on the road to Emmaus, now that same day, 2 of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. I've walked part of this path, and it's really something. Mark says it's out in the country. It's not country today. The Hebrew people, the Jewish people are building, and they're building beautiful neighborhoods, by the way. Some of the most intriguing architecture. It's just amazing, but you can still walk this road today and catch the deposit of the residue of the leftover of Jesus walking down this road. Again, if you want to go, I'll go with you. It's wow. And while they were talking with each other about everything that had happened, as they talked and discussed these things, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them. Why does he do that? People that are talking about Jesus, what has happened? Where is this going? What does the future hold? I thought they were just, no. If you want Jesus, he'll show up for you. And get the literature is so coy here. Jesus himself came up, but they were kept from recognizing him. What are you discussing together as you walk along? They stopped. They stood still, their faces. One of them, named Cleopas, asked, "Are you only a visitor to Jerusalem and do not know the things that have happened there in these days?" And Jesus says, "What things?" Does Jesus not know? Jesus not only knew all about the issues, he was the issues. Slain from the foundation of the world, he knew for thousands of years what was going to happen in Jerusalem at this time, and he was the issue. And he says, "What things?" That's great. I love that. Why does he ask that? Because he wants their rendition. About Jesus of Nazareth, he was a prophet, and don't you know? And we thought he was going to come and redeem Israel, but they killed him, and now they're saying he's risen from the dead. What is going on? Jesus wanted to know. What if they had said, "Yeah, some Jew dude from Nazareth, Galilee, they came and killed him, whatever, he was a punk, he's gone now." Jesus would have said, "Toodles, hey, take care, guys." He wanted to know their take on it. When he found out that they wanted Jesus, Jesus then continues talking and stays with them for a 2-hour walk. Takes about 2 hours to walk this road to Emmaus. He doesn't just do that, he stays with them. Oh, it's dark. What you're going to keep walking in the dark? A wolf or a leopard's going to get you. Come stay at our place here. So he does, and he stays there for the dinner preparation. He's hanging out with this guy 3, 4, 5 hours. Would you like that? And they don't know that it's him. This story makes me go, "Ah! Yeah, I've walked this road." And he explains to them, beginning with Moses and all the story and all the prophets, and said to them how he is, in all the scripture, what it is concerning himself. Moses, Joshua, Deborah, Gideon, Samuel, David, Josiah, all the prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. It's in all these places. It all testifies about me. And they're...
Except that he didn't say it testifies about me. It's like the coming one, because he didn't reveal to them who he was.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I picked up a hitchhiker once, And I said, hey, how's the Lord treating you? How was church Sunday? Church, blah, blah, blah. And I started to testify to this guy. He wasn't a believer. And this has happened 3 times, by the way. I start talking about the faithfulness and the power in the literature and the history of God. And 3 times, a non-Christian has looked over me. They're wearing short sleeve shirts, and they said, I don't know what's going on, man, but the hair on my arm is standing up while you talk. What is this?
That's good.
It's happened 3 times with me. I testified to somebody in San Francisco last weekend. Our time is up. I will end with this. And then Jesus takes the bread and breaks it, and they go, like the Last Supper, that was you! And he was gone. Oh, Jesus, tell us about the, they'd have given him the shakedown. You got to know how to behave around a celebrity. We've been around Hollywood. You got to behave. You don't want to maul them and hug them and chest bumping them. They just, whoa. I don't know, Once they realize it's you, the top celebrity of all time, I need to go now. We're not going to do Greco-Roman wrestling and hugs and.
Well, he totally had the most amazing exit.
We will continue with this tomorrow. The Resurrected Christ,
Monday.
like Robert Davi said Monday. Like Robert Davi said, Jesus is everything. I hope he's everything to you. He is everything. A word from Drake.
Don't forget, guys, you can go to the website, Drake's website, draketravis.com/partners. Partner with us because we like to be your partner.
Yeah, we love getting the word out, and that's what I do, and that's what we do.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
All the best.